Hi, my name's Pietro.
Hello, I'm Mimi.
I'm Brianna.
And I'm Toby.
And I'm Angel.
We are a part of youth here at PCC.
I feel like a fan is more of someone that just wants to get the prize that's at the end and not actually give up something. But a follower is more of someone that gives up their life to Jesus, and they would actually do anything for him. Yeah, and they don't really care about the prize at the end. They just care about what's happening right now with God.
You saying, like, I'm not going to do this and I'm putting it aside for now. That's more being a fan rather than doing what God is asking you to do.
I also think that being a fan is like doing things very routinely. So like just saying, oh, I go to church, like I go to a youth group, I worship, I pray, like that doesn't really make you a follower. You have to kind of put in the effort, get to know God, build a relationship with him. And what I've really liked that like Pastor Mark has been saying and stuff is that you have to give every aspect of your life to him. Like there can't be any one part of you that you hold back from him.
For me, I think of like a fan is just admiring the path and admiring Jesus, but rather to follow is to walk on that very path and to walk with Jesus. And something that has really like been on my mind lately is the verse of pick up your cross daily and follow me. And that has been really connected to me for the idea of being a follower. One area that's particularly challenging for me at school to follow Jesus, I feel, is just being different and going so much against what the rest of high school culture looks like. And I think just the boldness through Christ to stand out and really try to overcome all of those fears and anxieties.
You know, I completely agree. I feel like with my group of friends at school, a lot of them are non-believers, and I don't think they understand a lot of the time when I'm talking about, you know, prayer or worship or, you know, I'm going to spend my whole day, Sunday, you know, youth and church. And so I think it's really challenging, but at the same time, like, I think it's really powerful that I get to be the one that's like introducing them to those topics.
Yeah, to follow Christ, it might be a little challenging. Just because, like, you don't know how your friends are going to react about that, and how they're going to talk to you after, or even if you still want to be friends.
I think the main difference of how following Jesus has changed how I deal with things primarily in the last season, he's definitely been pulling me closer to trusting him and having that faith that he will provide for me.
I'm going through something I usually tend to like lean on myself, but more recently I've been, you know, leaning on God and praying more. And a lot of the time it's out of praise too, because I understand that going through the tough times, there are those good times still, and that God has given me so much despite what I'm going through.
At the beginning, when I was smaller, I just saw God as an existence that was there. I didn't really follow him. But like around a year ago when I came to church here at PCC, it just felt like I just started becoming more of a follower than just being a fan, knowing that God exists. And especially coming to youth with like my friends here. It was not just like Mimi said about the socializing. It was about growing with God together. So that's how I felt at the beginning.
Another point of stepping out of my comfort zone in my faith was God calling me to leadership, because that was something I never like foresaw. Like I was very happy with just like developing my own faith, but I never really thought about helping other people develop theirs. And I think that was something that was incredibly scary to me, but like by the grace and power of God, I was able to step into bigger roles with that, and then also just be able to have conversations with people about my faith.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that like the whole leadership aspect, and like specifically for me, I struggle a lot with public speaking, and so just like learning how to just speak from my heart, like God speak through me to other people, that's been like a really big change. And I feel like I'm continuing to be called to talk about God in front of people, even though it's outside of my comfort zone.
If a friend asked me why I follow Jesus, for a non-believer, or like as a Christian, I would say the reason why I follow Jesus is because he's our Savior. He loves us. And like when you're at school and like you feel like upset, like you can always like pray and talk to him because he'll always be with you.